even within the industry, there is generally a tendency of pessimism when we talk about these traditional expressions of print and these more traditional manufacturing processes. However, what we really see is that there's plenty of opportunities. There's plenty of opportunities in these more large format print applications, but also new ways of advertising or other ways to do print. There's still a lot of opportunity in the packaging market. There's other applications of print in home decor, whether that is wallpaper or whether these are carpets, where you're starting to get in a more personalized way of creating your world, and where print is a means of getting to that very personal touch. Actually, when we look at the day today, at Valentine's Day, you'll actually see that on quite a number of sites, you'll be able to get personalized gifts that celebrate the love between people, and you'd be surprised what actually can be printed on, whether they are snow globes with a picture, chocolate, but there's even more spicy items, I would say, that you can personalize today thanks to print. So if you look at if you just look around you, you see that really print is all around us. Print is all around us in these personalized expressions. Print has become a way to actually move from mass production to mass customization, and I'll get to that. But the real trend that we see is that print runs are going down. Print runs are going down, and as I said before, you could look at that as a negative trend. It is going down, therefore it is considered to be negative. However, in that move from mass production to mass customization and using print as a means to do that, we actually see an opportunity to revalue print and to actually add value to otherwise commoditized objects. Now, if you think about moving from mass production to mass customization, there is a challenge with that. It means that rather than having a press run for a couple of hours, or having the time to prepare jobs, you really need to look at the manufacturing process. And so you really need to think about lean manufacturing. Not just lean manufacturing in the sense of, oh, we'll automate a little bit. No, but really lean manufacturing pushed to the extreme, where a fully integrated and a fully automated technology stack is going to be required to enable profitable print production in a world of mass customization. From that point, we've actually developed that vision for what we've cornered as connected automation. You can automate individual steps in the process. You can automate certain digital processes. You can automate pre-press. We see increased robotization that enables to automate also certain actual physical manual processes. However, what is increasingly required is to connect all these different systems together so that we can feed information from one system to another to enable automation, but also so that we can feed system back so that a customer can be kept up to date as to where some of the items are that they ordered. Now, typically, when we talk about automation, people say, oh yes, workflow. I have a workflow. People refer to workflow very often as specifically that pre-press part in print, But I would say worse, they even talk about that as being a specific product. I have a Switch workflow, I have a Fuji workflow, I have a Kodak workflow. Now, I've been preaching in my role as an evangelist to step away from that word workflow in that specific term. The workflow really is significantly more than that. And the product is not the workflow. The product is not the solution. It is the product combined with the implementation, where the implementation is connecting a brick of technology to other bricks of technology. It is that implementation, that connectivity, that is really going to provide a solution to enable lean manufacturing. The nice thing with AI is that it can be used somehow as a shared brain. You can talk about, you can ask AI what a pre-press workflow looks like, and you'll get an image like this. But when you really start looking at different aspects of a print workflow, you'll also get images like that. Now, obviously exaggerated, there is still work on how AI should visualize a more realistic production process. But when you start talking about print workflow and you question AI about print workflow, you actually also get images that go more upstream, where the print workflow as such is initiated in the design phase, in the creation phase, in the order intake phase, in the logistics phase. So the workflow in print is actually significantly more than just what we tend to corner at it. Also in this particular case, you can see that even the installation of certain print elements is part of the workflow. You can imagine that if you want to have a lean workflow, that if something goes wrong in the installation of these point of sale stickers, that somebody might want to reorder something, and that enabling that to happen that in a fully digitized, fully automated way would certainly increase the ease of use, but also the customer service and the profitability of that. So when we talk about workflow, we don't really talk about a workflow or one workflow, but we talk about different workflows. There's the creative workflow, there's the artwork workflow, there's the order workflow with the business processes behind that, there's the production workflow, there's delivery and fulfillment and installation. And this is a slide that I took from Pat McGrew at What They Think, where she wrote an article on how these different workflows today very often are still disconnected, and how connecting them really is going to enable lean manufacturing. The other part of that, apart from the manufacturing workflow, is actually the sales workflow. When we look at sales channels in print, they have evolved. In the beginning of the century, we saw the upcoming of e-commerce, and so a printer that was a little bit forward thinking would start with one storefront. We saw that evolve a decade later in potentially multiple storefronts, closed and open storefronts, multiple closed storefronts for different customers, dedicated portals in which a customer could order print products. And we also saw already the beginning of the printing platforms, platforms that would centralize the ordering of print for multiple customers and feed that directly into the print factory. Today, when we look at sales channels in print, actually you don't know who the customer and who the supplier is anymore. You still have these multiple storefronts, but next to the platforms, there's a whole platform economy that has come in with cloud printing networks like Gelato, like Cloud Printer, but you've got websites like Redbubble in which you can order personalized items, personalized iPhone cases, phone cases, but also all the other objects that I've shown in my presentation onwards. And so printers can connect to those websites and start taking in orders that then they will produce. Now, that doesn't mean that they necessarily will print those orders themselves. They just might take the order and then still dispatch that to other subcontractors. So in that cobweb of connected systems and connected platforms, it becomes hard to really see who is the customer and who is the supplier, who is the manufacturer. However, what is crucial in there is that these systems are connected and the information flows through in an automated and transparent way. And that's very often where today we still see quite a number of bottlenecks. So if we talk about connected automation, we really talk about connecting the entire workflow, not just a tiny part of it, but really connect all the systems, the entire technology stack, the manufacturing with the sales channels, with the logistics, with the dispatch, with the installation. We also talk about connecting on-premise and cloud because the e-commerce part is in the cloud. However, we see very often that customers are pulling in data to on-premise systems to process them, to then push them back to the cloud, which is counterintuitive. If something is in the cloud and should remain in the cloud, let's keep it there. However, print is a manufacturing industry, so at some point the data will have to come down to the printing plant, and that connection needs to happen. However, print is also still a very hands-on manufacturing process, and while we see increased robotization, that is not for every company. In that world, we'll still have to connect man and machine. We will still have to get rid of some of the analog ways of transferring information that is actually breaking the chain of how information efficiently flows through. And so the connected automation also provides a platform in which man and machine can be connected. Sherlock Holmes said, data, data, I can't make bricks without clay. That is the reason behind the why of connected automation. When we talk about data, very often in the print industry, we focus on production data. We focus on artwork. We focus on status. We focus on the machine runtimes, machine maintenance times, and operator time. However, there's also the whole business data. And we really need to match these two together. We need to integrate production data with business data in order to enable process automation and in order to enable management, but also operators, to make better business decisions, to have the information that they need to be able to do their job and to make the decisions that they need to make on a daily basis. So connected automation really is an enabler, an enabling vision, an enabling philosophy to enable mass customization. If you think about the cloud in that context, again, as I said before, people wonder and say, why would we need to go to the cloud? What is the use of the cloud for us? Well, there is a very pragmatic, practical use for that, is that there wouldn't be no more back and forth between cloud and on-premise. We see in a consolidating market that one company, one holding has multiple factories in one country, but increasingly multiple factories over multiple countries, each with their own speciality, each with their own production equipment. But we also see significantly more trade going on between printers. If you have that machine and you're able to produce that product, let me outsource that to you. And so having a cloud-based system that enables that easy shifting of jobs and transferring of jobs really is crucial. And since COVID, we've also learned that employees want to work from anywhere. And so that is not possible for obviously jobs that are happening in the factory, but certain other administrative jobs can happen from anywhere. And so having a system that is easily accessible from anywhere is crucial in that. Cloud is also crucial in the scaling factor that is needed for mass customization. You don't want to hassle with infrastructure. You don't have to buy additional computers to install software on that you need to activate, that you need to purchase upfront. No, you want no hassle with infrastructure. You don't want hassle with activation. You want usage-based pricing with a simple technology access that is easily scalable. That is the base premise of the cloud, but that is also why, in the context of mass customization, the cloud really, again, has to be seen as an enabling technology that brings us to mass customization. That is what we announced last week with the announcement of Atomics. Atomics being an integration platform as a service, where next to our activity as a systems integrator, as FourPees, we're launching this platform as a separate company that provides a platform where you can provide integration as a service, where we connect different systems through different plugins, where we allow people to take print production management to the cloud. Atomics is really serving as a central data hub where you facilitate the exchange of data between different systems, where you provide that gradual transition path from on-premise to cloud-based artwork processing and print production management to really enable print, the quantity of one, at scale. That is the goal, where we want to take printers to, with the vision around connected automation and with the materialization of that vision in a platform like Atomics. If you want to know more about that, FourPees, again, provides integration services that are independent from any software manufacturing. We look at a process and we look at how we can optimize that process. At the same time, we're looking to fill a gap where we're enabling mass customization and profitable print of one at scale through the Atomics platform. And so Atomics is the platform in that. And if you want to know more about that, they each have their individual website in which you can find out more, or just ping me for more information. Thank you very much for your attention.